The Israeli people greeted Sadat's arrival from Egypt as though he were Moses, come again.
I come to you today with a firm desire to make peace.
Sadat offered peace, but he was careful not to abandon the other Arab states or the Palestinians.
There are Arab lands still under Israeli occupation. We insist on complete withdrawal from these territories, including Arab Jerusalem. It was quite a speech, quite disturbing. I passed a note to Begin saying we must be on our guard.
Ezer Weizmann, the defense minister, who was a great advocate for peace, said when he heard the speech that maybe we should mobilize the reserves.
The visitors went from the Knesset to a dinner in their honor.
It was a kind of dinner where there was not much talk. The atmosphere was cool.
President Sadat and Mr. Begin were not speaking to each other. They were sitting with their backs to each other. I decided to invite Ezer Weizmann and another minister up to my suite after dinner.
Mustafa Khalil told me, we have to do something. Otherwise, the whole trip will be without any follow-up. What about having a meeting together? I say, no objection.
So now I found myself sitting with our worst enemy at the King David Hotel, drinking Black Label.
I want to enter directly in the process and mentioning what are the problems of Cairo today and the problems of Egypt, and this is why we need peace.
I said, let me show you something. I took him to the window. I said, take a good look. Do you really think you can divide this city?
I say the solution is this direct talk with the leadership of Israel, and through this direct talk, direct contact, everything will be solved.
It wasn't that simple. After the trip to Jerusalem, the two sides continued to talk for 7 months. But Begin would not give an inch. Sadat confided in the new president of the United States.
Sadat felt that the peace process, instead of having been moved forward, had actually been almost terminated by a fruitless gesture to go to Jerusalem. So he was quite discouraged.
I asked President Carter, the Senate, the Congress, to take their share as full partners in the dispute that's between us and Israel. I'm waiting for this moment.
I found myself isolated from all my advisors. All of them thought that it was a bad idea.
President Carter then set out to resolve 30 years of conflict in a week of talks at the presidential retreat at Camp David.
We arrived by helicopters, and we find this kind of small bungalows in the forest. People quite relaxed. People were using bicycles, and it was quite strange for us.
Some of the Americans even brought their children. The National Security Advisor challenged Israel's prime minister to a game of chess and got a preview of his negotiating technique.
I was about to make my first move when he dramatically seized my hand in midair and looked me straight in the eye and said, and he's always very serious and formal, Dr. Brzezinski, do you know when I played my last chess game? And quite frankly, I was a little dismayed because I couldn't care less. And he says to me, September 1940, when the NKVD broke into my hiding place in Vilna to arrest me. So I said to myself, oh my God. And in the midst of the game, Mrs. Begin appears. She looks at us and says, oh, the two of you are playing chess. You know, Mr. Brzezinski, Menachem